2017 Chevy Traverse. We're going to be doing a brake job on her today. I got her up on the K-tool, so let's lift her up and get started on it. Let's go over here. So the K-tool's been doing really good. I did have a bad pulley in the back where it walked the pin out, and I had to fix that. Let's see where we're at. So this is going to be 895 lifts, this one. So we're just pulling her in right now, and I haven't done nothing, and yeah. Alright, I think that looks good, and I'm not going to put her down on the locks because we're going to be getting after it and getting it done. So I think we'll start at the back. So we're just gonna put a little bottle jack in here. I'm gonna jack it up. I do one wheel at a time. Alright, the problem with this one is the rotor, it's got a rotor shake. And then the back rotors, they're really rusty, so we're going to put pads and rotors on it. I don't think they're electronic calipers, but we're going to find out. Ooh, I have to pound that one on. I was just gonna say it's always nice when you don't have to pound them on there. Probably need to pick up some half sizes. I'm gonna get a new lug nut for that. Yeah, probably some of the rotor shake is coming back here. Look at that. Oh, the pads are almost smoked anyways. Let's get this little guy out of here. That might be a... Well, let's see what size that is. It's a 30 torques. Let's give it a little bit. If it don't come out, what we do is we hit it real hard right here. And that did not come out. Okay, so what we want to do is we just want to give her a good cracking right here. Alright, that should come out now. It did. Alright, next, let's get the caliper off of there. I think we're going to need a 14. Yeah, they got that tight. $17 to hold it. There we go. Oh, she's coming out now. that up there. Pins are free. Pads are a little jacked. Alright, I think we're going to need a 21. Take the bracket off. See if I can get in here with my wrench. She's tight. Let's get a ratchet. I'm going to come back here. The big old power torque from O'Reilly's. Yeah, she's pretty long. There's just not enough room to get an impact. I could get my little electric ratchet in there, but I don't think it's loose enough yet, but we could try it. Just Loctite on these. Put that one back in a little bit. She might come now. I think I seen that rotor was loose. Alright, perfect. We don't have to back the parking brake off, but if you did, that's what the little hole in the rotor is for, right here. And here's the adjuster. We'll make sure that's free. Yeah, here's the back side of that rotor. Doesn't look very pretty. Alright, so let's see if this is free. Just use this bar. Yeah, it is. It's free. We're good. I'm just going to use the C-clamp vice grip. But one thing you do want to make sure is that you got enough room in your reservoir for the extra fluid. If you don't, you want to get some out of there. So I just use a C-clamp vice grip. I push this back. There. She's all pushed back. Just want to watch this boot that I don't get outside of the piston here. Set that back up there. Let's get the bracket ready to go. So go ahead and peel out these clips. All right, let's bring her over to the vise. All right, I'm gonna go get something, and we're gonna clean this up. You got to clean this up. That's where the rust jacking starts. So what happens? What happens is it gets rusty in here, and then that swells and it locks the pad. So every time you step on the pad, yeah, you got hydraulic pressure on it. It'll push it a little bit. Sometimes they don't, but it'll push it in a little bit, but it won't come back out, and it wears them out extra fast. I'm gonna get a little file. I don't have a cabinet blaster, or you could blast these, sandblast them. It does get her right down to the steel, cast iron. Real nice. Okay, I'm just going to let you see that so you can see it's clean. Nice and shiny. Alright, next let's pull the pins. So give them a little twist, hold that boot. If you got any dirt on there, now's the time to get the dirt off. Pull that pin out. We got a lot of good grease in there. Let's just give her a little more. I always like to do that. My grease is pretty good stuff. So we're using the Permatex ceramic. Let's wipe it on there. You can clean the old grease off, but this grease is fine. There. Let's get this one. Yeah, it's got good grease. I'm not going to worry about replacing it. Let's add to it. You want to make sure they don't get airlocked. The ones with the little rubber booties could get airlocked, so be careful about those. That could cause your pads to wear out too. All right, we're going to put a little bit on here. Prevent rust. All right, let's go get the brake pad so we can put in the clips. Well, we're going to be using some Bosch Perfect Stops. This is the number for the back. They got all these pads are the same. They got a wear indicator on each side. They got the shims. These are the cheaper ones. Have been having good luck with them so far. I'm not sure if they dust yet, which they kind of look like they do. I want to put in these shims, push them down like that. There we go. Now another dousing of the lube. Okay. That's all we're gonna do here. Now we're gonna go put the rotor on. Hopefully I got the right rotors. We're gonna use, it's time for the rotors now. We're gonna use some Duragos, and they're titanium. Coated hat and edge. Alright, so I'm going to head back over this way. Before we pop that rotor on, we're going to spray this out with brake clean. And we're going to clean this. Alright, so let's clean that first, and then we're going to spray her out with some brake clean. So let me show you. I just got this Titan stud cleaner. And I like this one pretty good, but these just slip in. I think it's a normal size socket here. Maybe not. It's got a little ring in there. And it didn't come with this piece, but I had one of these. And then I use this on my drill, so this will be the first step. Pretty happy with that. Let's go get the brake clean and clean that off. I'm gonna grab the rotor too. That's ready. Just gonna put a little fluid film. We'll get that adjuster lubed up just a little bit. Slap this rotor on. It goes on like this. Put the screw back in. It's good enough. We're going to adjust that up a little bit. got to be this way. I can feel it now. Let's go a little bit tighter and we'll back her off. Alright, we locked her tight. That's good. Alright, now we're ready to put the bracket on. We'll put a little Loctite on these. So you just want just a little bit. Just like that. Put the big ratchet on there and we'll tighten them just about as tight as we can get them. That's good on that one. That's as tight as I can get them. Let's clean off this caliper a little bit. We'll go ahead and put some lube on there. I don't think it does anything. But that's what they do nowadays. Back in the day we used to have a lot of pads squeak a lot. I think it was due to the pads. Not this. Alright, got that all done. Let's get these pads in there. I always like to put my pads in after the calipers in there. Alright, real nice. Perfect. They move right in and out. Here, I'll let you guys see. They slip right in and out. So that's what you want. Right, put this back on there. Make sure, you don't know how many cars that come in that got a twisted brake hose. Make sure that's not twisted. Grab these two little bolts, and they do not need any Loctite on these. that's perfect. You can always look up the torque specs if you're worried about it. Next, you want to make sure that you don't have no crud on your wheels. These wheels have already been cleaned. So we'll just give her a little spray of fluid film. And then we'll put a little bit up here. So don't forget to put in your little plug. And we'll just give her a little bit. That's good for me. I did not get that lug nut. Alright, we're good to go back on the wheel. I'm gonna go grab a lug nut off the other side. I gotta order one of these. I wanted to wait to order it because I gotta do all the other wheels. Alright, let's go ahead and let that down. We'll give her some torque. So 140 on these. Alright, that's all you're doing. I'm going to go do the other side, and then when I get ready to do the front, I'll come and get you guys again. Alright guys, I went ahead and finished up the other side, so all we got is this wheel left, and we'll go out on a test drive, and we'll burnish in the pads and see how smooth she is. So let's finish her up real quick. It's pretty easy. Same procedure for the front, so let's just do it. I'm just going to say this car was in for a tire rotation when it's got its oil change, and I did clean all the mating surfaces, so they're still clean. Alright, these are 13 up here. Yeah, last night we had a storm warning come in, a big old storm. One town was reporting 87-mile-an-hour winds, so we decided to go and barricade the front of the shop. We got the motorhome out, parked it right next to the shop, and then we took the van and the Expedition and parked it on the other side of that. They were predicting 3/4 inch hail and and high winds. I think we only got like 55. But yeah, it was blowing on the doors pretty hard. We made it though. So that was the excitement for last night. And I don't know if I told you guys, yeah, today's Tuesday and this is the first vehicle for today. So I am running behind again as usual. It's just the way it is. I think I can get caught up by the end of the day though. Let's just pry this off of here. Nothing to it. We'll set her up here. Now I did open the hood. I did pump up the brakes once I got the back done. And I did open the hood and the brake fluid was pretty high, so I took some out. This one says it uses .3. Alright, I'm gonna do the same thing. I mean, this just works out for me when I do it this way. So we'll push one in just a little bit so the other one don't pop out. Now we'll push this one in all the way. And if they don't go in, you're going to want to replace it. It's either that or your brake hose is bad. And I'll go ahead and push in this other side. Now they're pushed in. We're good. So we do have to fix this boot on this one here. I'll show you. I'll bring you up there. Let me get a tool. So right up here you can see this boot is popped out right here. It's got a little air in it. So what you do is you just get a pick and you snake it in there. You don't want to pop the boot. But as soon as you get it in there in the right spot, the air will come out. Sometimes you got to push on it. Because you don't want that boot to get in behind the brake pad. There, I felt her go that time. At least thought it did. Yep, we're in there real nice now, so that's what you want. I don't know if you quite seen that. Probably didn't quite see it, but yeah, the boot was sticking out just a little bit. Alright, let's keep on going. So now we'll go ahead and hang this caliper up. Like that. We'll go ahead and break these loose with the big ratchet because they're pretty tight. They're a 21. I got that broke loose. We'll see if this little medium impact can get them out of there. And it can. Yeah, they're a little rust jacked. Not too bad. The rotors are worked up. She's got a new wheel bearing. I had a new one on the other side too. Okay, I just had to take care of a customer. Let's go clean this bracket. I'm going to show you how to do it again. You know, this is important. So we're just going to clean it again, even though I showed you once. Now this one's just a little bit different. So when we clean this one, we have to be careful of this boot. And I don't want to take it off of there because I just don't want to. So I'm going to be real careful of that. Napa did bring me a lug nut, and I ordered an extra one in case, just so I have it on hand. I didn't have any of these. I got all the other lug nuts, it would seem. Alright, so let's give her a little filing. It's a little crusty in there. This might just be right where I need to be. How's that? I'm going to get all the way outside on this one. So these little brushes, they do really good. I picked them up at Walmart. And we're right down the bare middle. I'm being careful not to get on my boot. It's pretty forgiving too, like if I hit the boot a little bit, it's not going to cut into it. But it sure does get the rust off. So I'm gonna hit her with the file a little bit more. Alright, if we hit her one more time here. That looks good. Get this other side. Okay, I'm really happy with that. Now let's do these pins. We're gonna have to clean these, I know we are. So I'm not gonna clean the inside. The new grease will free that right up. It'd be different if it was different. There we go. Now this one we got to be careful. It's got the rubber. They do not like too much grease. Just a little bit in there. Something like that. Alright, we made it. That's perfect. Put some on here. clips in. And make sure you push it down right here. It's really hard to put these clips in without with the caliper on the vehicle. It can be done, but you got to know what you're doing. Get some more in here. Alright. See, there was one more thing. Yeah. So here's our brake pads. Bosch, perfect stop. That's the number. Alright, let me go get the rotor. I don't know how you want to call that. Durago. There's the number. Alright, let's grab the bracket. Head back over this way. Spray this rotor down. You know what, I think I put the wheel bearings in here. I'll give her just a little bit of fluid film. This is the mailman. He's bringing me a bunch of stuff. We're gonna do a video a little bit later about some of the other stuff I just bought. I left the caliper bracket bolts right in there. No wonder I couldn't find them. So here, let's put a little. Oh, we're putting a little blue Loctite on there. You may notice I'm not torquing these. Well, I've done a few brake jobs. I know how tight to get them. You want them super tight. Alright, plug this back in. You want them tighter than what this guy can get them. Alright, I'm going to go grab it with the big ratchet, about as hard as I can pull with the big ratchet. This ratchet's, gosh, I think she's like, let's go get a tape measure. It's this nice ratchet I got from O'Reilly's. That's a 24-inch. So about as hard as a strong guy could pull with a 24-inch ratchet. Get one more on her. There. Alright, that's tight enough. So on the front pads, you see they're different. So you're going to get two of these with no this little doodad, what do you want to call it? The squeaker. It's a squeaker, but so when your brake pads get worn down enough, this will start squeaking, and you'll hear a squeak, and then you'll want to come in and get your brakes checked. So the squeaker, this little tab thing, gosh, it's just escaping me right now. But we're going to put that at the bottom on the inside. And then these, yeah, that's real nice. So these pads have a pusher outer on these clips. Backer offer. See? So now what you want to do is we're going to take our C-clamp vice grip that we used to squeeze that caliper back. We're going to pinch these. And we're going to put it here and just lightly squeeze it. Just like that. Now we're going to grab this caliper, twist it this way so we do not get a twist in the hose. But first we're going to put some lube on it. And then we're going to go out and burnish these pads in, which I do my burnishing a little bit different than everybody else. So the point of burnishing your pads came back from the old days, and the pads now are made a little bit different. Back then they needed to cure, the glue inside needed to get hard, and the only way to do that was to get it hot. So I kind of do the same thing. The newer pads do not take as much burnishing. I've talked to the reps about this that make these pads, and they agree with me 100%. So we'll just wipe this with our finger a little bit. There we go. So now we're just going to set it on here like that, and we're going to get the top bolt started. And these top bolts have a locking guide, so you got to have them turned right. I just got her turned right now. Alright, she's started. You want to make sure she's started so you don't drop it. So you want to make sure they're turned right because they got a lock or a guide. There we go. So you can run them up. And it's always a good idea now that we got them that far. Let's just look at them to verify that they're. Just look at them. We'll verify that they are in the catch. So it's right. Get something. So right in here, there's a flat spot, and that one is good. And that one is good. So you just want to make sure they're hitting a flat spot. I don't know, I can't really get in there. You can see the best on the top one. Okay, so now let's just grab the wrench and give her a little extra torque. That's good. That's good for me. I'll spray a little fluid film, and then I'll spray some in the wheel too. Make sure she's up there flat is what I do. And then I'll start a nut. And then I'll put the rest of them on. Me personally, I've never had a wheel fall off, but I've worked with a lot of techs, and a lot of techs will lose a wheel. Most importantly, it's got to get it cleaned up. Got to get it cleaned up, and you got to make sure it's on there straight, and you got to make sure it's torqued. So I don't know if I said it's 140 on this one. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and let that down, and then we're going to torque it. So after our test drive, I will come back, and I'll torque these again. One thing on a new wheel bearing, sometimes they don't get the studs drawn in all the way. Alright, let's let her down, check the brake fluid. I'll go wash my hands, we'll pump up the brake pedal, and we'll go for a drive. Alright, I said that in a little bit of the wrong order. First, I'm going to wash my hands, then I'm going to pump up the brake pedal, and then we're going to check the brake fluid, and then we're going to go for a test drive. Alright, I got the brake pedal pumped up nice and hard. I did not start it, that's okay. So now when you've got all new pads in, now is when you want to make sure the master cylinder is at its full. Okay. We got it full. And you know, when they talk about a sealed brake fluid container, this is now sealed. I sealed it, I turned the cap back on, it's now sealed. We're going to grab the torque wrench and bring that with us. So, another thing for you techs, bring your torque wrench with you. Then when you park the vehicle, just run around it and torque the wheels. I don't know where I can put you guys. We'll try right here. So something like that, probably. I need the keys. I took the keys out. Just right over there. And I'm just gonna start her up. Let everything clear out. Shut the radio off. Yep, we got a nice solid pedal. I'm gonna grab my remote, open the door. It's B. There she goes. And we'll back her out. The way out, I can check the lights with my mirror back there. Yeah, we got reverse lights and brake lights. We're good. Not something that you have to do for a brake job. We made her off. Back out without hitting anything. Always worry about somebody pulling in when I'm backing out. Shut the door. Alright, so we're going to go burnish these pads in. So we're just going to do a couple stops, warm them up, not come to a complete stop, cool them off, and we're going to drive normal from there. Looks like we're clear. So I usually get rolling a little bit. Do some really light stops, so here we go. We're just going to be light on the brake pedal. There's nobody behind us, so... And we're just going to do a gradual long stop. And not come all the way to a stop. Now we're going to let off go again. There is a car coming back there. So we'll get going faster now. Everything's right on this vehicle. 140,000, almost 141. All right, let's do a long dragging stop. Yeah, we got smooth stopping, smooth braking. Yeah, she's perfect. Okay, that's hot enough for me. Let's get going again. We're doing good on the guy behind us. He's a ways back there. But you don't want to be stopping in the highway with people behind you, unless it's an emergency. Now we're going to go a ways here, and we're going to cool down these rotors. Speed limit 60 on this road. Yeah, it was a terrible storm last night. I don't see any storm damage. The winds were bad. I thought they were going to blow the doors down on my shop there. Oh, there's a storm damage. Do you see that one? You probably didn't see it. It was on the other side. Tree limb down. A tree limb down over there. A whole bunch of them. All right, I'm gonna do a drag and stop again. A little bit harder this time. Let's get some heat in them. Actually, get some heat in them. Yeah, we're stopping good, nice and smooth. This also mates the brake pads to the rotors. And the rotors are always gonna, when they're machined brand new, they're always gonna be a little rough, so to say. They'll have machining marks. So this will take the machining marks off as you're burnishing in your pads. So if you do it right, they're gonna last you a long time. Like on my vehicles, usually if I buy a used vehicle, I only have to put pads in it one time. Newer cars, my Jeep still has the original pads in it. It's got almost 80,000. I think I'm going to be able to go into the 100 or 1,000 range with those pads. And you guys are twisted. There we go. We do have a little tire shake, but these tires are getting old on this one. All right, let's just do a normal stop. We've done all our hard stopping for now. So we'll just pretend we're driving normal, and this guy's turning, so we're going to stop short. We're going to let him know we're stopping short by doing this. There we go. So now we're just going to creep. I really don't want to clamp the rotors. You never want to clamp the rotors, like put a lot of pressure on your brake pedal when you come to a stop. Hopefully nobody's turning my way, because I'm going to turn around. Just let all this traffic clear out. We're just going to go up here and you turn it around. Yeah, I don't know, you guys really got screwed up there. Alright, there's a car. He's turning this way, so we're good. We're just going to go. Alright, so that's it. We'll go back and torque the wheels, and I'll say goodbye to you guys, and I'll figure out the bill. I'll let the customer know his car's done. And we'll get on to the next one. Okay guys, I'm going to end the video here. It's pretty easy to do brakes on one of these. I think I'll hold this. Oh, I see. My camera's loose. There's the problem. Alright, turn it a little bit my way. Alright guys, I'm going to end the video here, and we got them all furnished in. I'm going to torque the wheels, and when I get back, I got my torque wrench right here. And yeah, pretty easy. I'm going to get on to the next job. I just don't know what else to say. I'm going to try to do one video a day. Now that I'm monetized, I want to see if I can make some money at it. I'm going to do one video a day, and hopefully I'll get better, and you guys will like them, and we'll see what happens from there. Yeah, so I'm super excited. Just got monetized. I'm actually making money. I made money on the first few hours I got monetized. It was later at night, and we're doing really good. So I want to keep. You make the most money from these long videos, so I want to get better at making videos. So far, I feel I'm helping people out. I got good advice. All my customers come to me because of it. So yeah, I'm out of over a month on appointments, and I get a lot of walk-ins. So a couple more cars for today. Maybe a pressure washer or two I gotta fix, and then I want to work on my I come up with this deal I save some water out of my air conditioner, and I want to put a hose on it. So I'm gonna make that video too. All right, guys. Hope you liked it, and hope you learned something, and I hope you're having a good day. Today is Tuesday, and thanks for watching, and you catch me next time. Up there's Daisy. Did you guys see her?